really playing with me today. That is a really small pipe. It's 8 inches. 8 inches. Gosh, that was so close. All right, so really fun win today. All right, so as you guys can see, this thing can shoot. This is the 2020 Waypoint rifle from Springfield Armory, and it is a shooter. I have it mounted with a Apex Rival 4-32 by 56. Yes, 4-32 by 56. And I have a $20 scope level on it from Amazon. Recommend just going with those, because when you're buying really good glass like this and buying a really nice rifle, you don't have anything left for money or for food and stuff like that, and you need a scope level. This is a really light little setup. It's 9.9 pounds 4 ounces. That's what we weighed it in at yesterday. I'm gonna actually put it into some low mount rings from Warren Scope Mounts, because this was really just to play around with it and see how she shot. When I got the rifle, I was a little disappointed that it came with a flat mount Picatinny scope rail. The whole purpose of building a rifle like this is so you can reach out and touch your targets at some distance. You've got this beautiful adjustable scope or comb, so why would you flat mount a scope on these things? So what I did is I looked around online, and I was really happy to see that within my state of Idaho, there is a company called Murphy Precision, and they make titanium Picatinny scope rails, and that's what this is right here. It is a 20 MOA from Murphy Precision out of Boise, Idaho, and it is fantastic. If I'd realized that scope Picatinny rails came with titanium as a material, sorry, I'm stumbling over my words, thinking this through too much, I probably would have gone to them a long time ago. I do not use aluminum for these. I will use steel, or now I will use titanium. Aluminum is garbage. So if you're trying to build a precision rifle for hunting, reach out to Murphy Precision and get one of his scope rails and figure out what you need. We talk about this in our courses with Rangetech US, so if you're not sure what slant you actually need, if you need a 0, 20, 30, or 40, we're happy to discuss that with you on courses. This is a pretty much brand new scope. It was released 6 months ago, and I was really hesitant to actually have a look at it. I was sort of like wanting to hate on it for whatever reason, as a bit bitter, I guess, about my experiences with another scope company, and loath to deal with another company that may or may not have a good warranty policy. But they do in fact have an awesome warranty policy. If you have a problem with a scope, there's none of this like messing around, oh yeah, we're gonna take like 4 months to repair it. Nope, you send it back. If they find there's something wrong with it that can't be repaired immediately, then they send out a new scope to you. It's been awesome. I've been testing it now for a few months, and I've decided I'm actually going to buy this scope. Rifle itself has been great. I've been testing this now for close to 3 months. I've had it out in cold weather and some moderately warm weather, but honestly, it's been pretty cold here in eastern Idaho, right up until yesterday. Last week we had snow. The rifle shoots fantastically well. It's a really neat barrel. If you haven't seen how these are made, it is a fluted barrel. So there's actually like air channels in here, which allows the heat to escape a little faster through the carbon fiber wrap. The carbon fiber wrap adds a lot of stiffness to the barrel, and it provides a lot of deadening for vibration, so you're going to get less harmonics. Only really got a couple of complaints with the rifle. I had to do some work to the bolt to smooth it out. There was some machining marks on here that took me all of about 10-20 minutes with a Dremel and some high quality polishing paste that's actually for polishing woodworking equipment. Now the bolt runs nice and smooth. I should also note that the angle of the bolt handle is really nice, and I'm picking a nice safe area. The trigger is a Rangetech trigger. I had to adjust it quite a bit down from where it was set from the factory. I like to set them about 2.5 pounds, and usually not lower than that. And the reason is that, well, primarily I'm doing tactical shooting and instructing. So to me, I look at things like liability and things like that, and I actually want to be able to stage my my trigger finger. So we have, like I said, we've done a little bit of work to this, and I guess my second and third complaints with it were that it did not come with a thumb wheel for this. The whole point of being able to adjust this is being able to adjust it, and when I want to clean a rifle, now I have to get an Allen key out and adjust that. It's not the end of the world though. 10-15 bucks, you can change that. 20 minutes with a Dremel or a polishing wheel or something like that, and you can clean this up and it will be buttery smooth. The problem is, like, if you have any machining and you have a Cerakote on a rifle, the machining marks, if you have any of those machining marks here, they will catch on the Cerakote, because the Cerakote has actually sort of got a bit of a tacky, soft finish to it, and that's one of the reasons it adheres so well, is it's got that little bit of elasticity. And then my third complaint, there's no excuse for radial brakes. These things are trash. Get yourself a Griffin Armament dual lock adapter brake or something like that, and get their suppressor attachment system, and then you can run a muzzle brake or a suppressor depending on what state or what country you're in. Or you put on a Terminator muzzle brake, like a TT or something like that would be absolutely perfect. some of you have been following me for a long time. The reason I'm not a Terminator dealer is just because the global supply chain stuff since 2020 has just been an absolute joke, and having things shipped is such a pain in the butt. The rifle overall, if I didn't mention it, I think I did, but if I'm repeating myself, I apologize. The rifle overall, as you see it set up right here, is 9 pounds 4 ounces. We measured that last night or yesterday, and it is absolutely awesome. So in actual fact, you've got a rifle that I'm reaching out over just about 3/4 of a mile off the tripod. Yes, we can't talk properly right now, and I can do so very, very easily with this thing. What else? If I really, really wanted to be nitpicky, I would say I would like to have a second mag included with this. Came with a 5, and I would have rather had a 5 and a 10 with it, depending on state laws and that kind of stuff. 10 would have been a lot more fun for just blinking and stuff like, things like that. Training days. 5 is great if you're shooting off of a backpack or whatever, right? Just sometimes it's just circumstances and laws and things like that, those pesky laws. So really no big complaints. Again, this has been a review that's been going on and a testing session that's been going on for a few months now, and it's been great, and I really like it, and I'm going to switch the brake off of it, and I'm going to put a thumb wheel on here, and then I'm going to forget about it because it's awesome the way it is. Don't think I mentioned it comes in 4 calibers. There's 6.5, 6.5 PRC, and I believe there's 300 PRC. And I mean, those are great calibers, those big ones, and the little one, the 6 mil, but they're also barrel burners too. And certainly if you go to those bigger calibers, you will want to get rid of the muzzle brake right away. It is actually really more of a compensator than a muzzle brake in its function. And if you ever shoot off of a gravel, patch from prone, you'll know what I mean. When you're shooting a muzzle brake, you'll be washing your mouth out because it'll be full of gravel. It is a really nice setup. I'm going to do some more shooting. I've got a bunch more Peterson brass. It's small rifle primer brass. And the way it's going these days with large rifle primers, I would encourage you to reach out to Peterson and order some small rifle primer brass. Start doing load development. Be aware of things like your powder primer combination being more sensitive, etc., etc. When I jumped into the SRP world, I did not actually find a lot of information online, so I've had to do quite a bit of testing, and I talk about that in classes when we're talking about reloading. Other than that, you're gonna have to do your own experimenting and stuff, and that's not something I can really explain on YouTube. So that's it for now. Check out Apex Optics, check out the Springfield Armory Waypoint 2020. Be aware, if you're switching out a barrel on something like this, it's going to cost you more. It's carbon fiber, but the benefits of it are they're quite significant, because you're going to have a barrel that's going to cool faster. It is going to dampen harmonics, being that it's carbon fiber wrapped, and it is nice and light to carry. So if you're packing this thing, or if you're working in a professional position in law enforcement and stuff like that, this is a great rifle to start out with. All right, that's it, kids. Gonna get on to a couple more reviews. I got a bunch of stuff finally, ready to work on, because we actually have good weather and the wind is not blowing at 50 to 60 miles an hour, and it literally has been doing that off and on, and snowing and sleeting and hailing and raining and everything else. All right, that's it. Come out to Idaho, come out and play. It is rough country. It is awesome for training.